I just want to say to all you bitch ass haters who said that I should have waited till the New Year's to go to Australia, you were right. Being here during Christmas sucks. I miss my family so much. But you know what? It could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, I'm here by myself, and I was so scared that I would have to spend Christmas all by myself with no one, and I'd be completely alone. But I'm really fortunate that I made friends with my Tasmanian roommates, and they moved out and got a new place and invited me to their new place for Christmas. So I thought, all right, I'll get dressed up, I'll look nice, and I'll go to their place for Christmas Day, and it'll be fine. And you know what? It was like, instead of making like a roast chicken or anything like that, they made gourmet hot dogs, which was pretty funny. Was because there was gourmet hot dogs, there was beets, there was different sauces. We had grapes, cheeses, and like those rice olive leaf wrapped things. I always forget what they're called. And we, between the three of us, we had 4 bottles of wine. It was a good time. I'm very fortunate and grateful that I didn't have to spend Christmas alone. And I'm also grateful that earlier today, before I left for my Christmas thing, I was able to FaceTime with my family for like 3 hours. We FaceTime, I watched them open their gifts, and they sent me some stuff. Here. They sent me this beautiful basket. It's got pear cider. It's got some red gummy candies. It's got some coffee cream melting moments, which is a type of cookie. There's rose chocolates. There is toffee. There's mint tea. Cookies. Some Ferrero Rocher. And a nice big old bottle of wine. I'm not too sad. I mean, I really thought that I would be. I thought I'd cry, to be honest. I really did. But I haven't cried once today, which is good considering. Very fortunate to have the family I have, and that they love me so much that they send me these cute little baskets. And apparently, my mother handmade a basket that she's sending from Toronto, and it should have been here by now, but it'll be here in the new year, and that's fine. So FaceTiming with them, I got to watch them open the gifts that I sent them via mail. I went on Amazon.ca and sent them things and had my mother wrap them when they got there. And me and my sister already had gotten or agreed upon my mom's gift before I left, so she took care of that. So I got to watch everyone open their gifts. My dad really made a good haul this year. And then after everyone opened their gifts and we chatted for a bit, I watched them play euchre for a bit. My mother had me set up on the laptop, and she set me at the table. I sat there while I was doing my makeup while I watched them. While I watched Jessica and Mom, or whose team was who. Anyway, Jessica was the most concerned about winning. And then after I watched them play cards for a bit, I went out to, like I said, my friend Erin and Freya's, and we had a good time. And at first I thought that they invited me out of pity because I had nowhere else to be. But after we hung out, Erin and Freya both said don't be a stranger. We do want to see you again. And they even I was having problems with my landlord, and they even suggested they have a friend who's moving out, and they offered if I would want to go see it. And so nice. Just well, maybe you should move out. We'll help you find a place. Just the sweetest couple. I got very lucky meeting them, and although I haven't been having the best time in Australia just yet, again, I think I just need to give it a bit more time. I haven't met that many people or gone on that many adventures just yet, but slowly but surely, I'm sure things will turn around. Things will get better, I'm sad and kind of lonely now because I'm away from my family over the holidays, and that sucks. And although FaceTiming was great and talking to them was great, I mean, doesn't really quite make up for like the hugs and the kisses you get around the holidays, but I'm lucky that I met Aaron and Freya, because at least I got hugs from somebody. Once the new year hits, New Year will come, there will be fireworks everywhere, and I'll start work on January 2nd. It's a accounting firm, and I'll be a scanner and file clerk, which is fine. It's a job's a job, right? So I think once I start working and I have an income and I meet more people, maybe my experience will change and I'll feel better about this, I won't feel so like down and blah about Melbourne in Australia. I was talking to my sister and I realized something, like even if I don't like my circumstances currently, I can always change them. Like, what is the worst case scenario? Because I was catastrophizing things. I kept being like, well, I'm so nervous, just like, what if I can't make rent, and what if I can't do this, and what if I can't do that, and what if I don't find a job? She was like, okay, worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario, Lana? The worst case scenario is that I run out of money. That is the worst case scenario. Okay, well, worst case scenario, you run out of money, you have to use your credit card to buy an airplane ticket and come home because you can no longer afford to live there. I'm like, well, if I did that, I'd feel like a failure. I would feel like I didn't succeed. She's saying, well, another worst case scenario is that I would feel like a failure. And she said, well, you would come home, you would work, you would save up money, and you would try again. Like, a failure is just a lesson learned. And just because you didn't succeed this time doesn't mean you can't succeed a different time or doing something else. Like, that this adventure doesn't make or break my entire life experience. And I thought, that's right. It's not, you're right. This doesn't make or break me. It's an experience, it's an adventure, and I'm going to see it out. And I need to be more fluid about my expectations. Because part of me initially I thought, oh, well, Australia has a higher minimum wage, so I'll go home having made extra money. But after realizing how expensive it is, I realized I'd be lucky to just break even when I go home. So yes, I'm excited to start working and making money and really starting this adventure, because I was kind of sad I don't have you before, but that's just because I hadn't really started the adventure yet. I'd been here all of 2-3 weeks, and that's just enough time to get settled in. It's not really enough time to get stable and, get your shit together and really start living the experience. So I'm really excited in the new year to really start living the experience. My New Year's resolutions are, I think I have a thing here. So the list says to stay determined. My New Year's resolutions are stay determined. Get more job experience, so that way your resume is that of a well-traveled and well-worked person. Teach yoga here in Australia, so that way when I go home I can say that I am a world-renowned yoga instructor, as well as nutrition. I do have a nutrition certificate. I'd like to use it at some point, again, so that I can go home and say that I have done this job in another country, which I think makes me more reliable, right? And here's probably a little thing that a lot of people don't know about me right now, is that when I was back in Toronto, I was taking burlesque dance classes, and I was taking these classes so that I could perform burlesque. So one of my other goals here, and this is a little bit low on the list, I won't be super heartbroken if this doesn't happen, but I really want it to. If I could perform at least one burlesque act while I'm here, I would consider this trip a success. So more job experience, teach yoga, nutrition, at least one burlesque performance. And that's how I would consider it a success. Because instead of judging by how much time I spend here, or how much money I spend here, or how much money I make here, I should judge it by the experiences I have here. And if I can teach a few classes, do a few performances, then I will consider that a success. And that's where my expectations need to be. They need to be more fluid and experience-based, as opposed to time and money-based. So I guess my lesson is, for anyone out there who's watching, is think about your expectations and reevaluate what they are and what they mean. Like, what does time and money mean? What do they represent to you? Is it that they represent having things or doing things? Because then maybe your expectation should be doing the thing instead of having the money to do the thing. Because there are other ways, you can find other ways to do a thing without necessarily it involving money. Does that make sense? Anyway, I guess the point is just be more fluid with your expectations and don't be afraid to reevaluate your expectations, especially if they're a little too unrealistic as mine have been. Anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. It's the kind of headspace I'm trying to go into the new year with. So wish me luck, and let's hope that from here on out I can have a more positive outlook. Anyway, I love you guys. See you next time.